Hello everyone and welcome. I'm creating this video for you today for those of you that feel that you're having too much screen time. Now I know it's a bit ironic creating a video that you'll watch on the screen about having too much screen time, but it is a fact of life for us in Melbourne right now that we have been in lockdown for quite some time and will be for a while yet. And in some ways, in a lot of ways, it's very isolating. So the screen is really the only way for a lot of us to connect. We're allowed 2 hours outside for exercise, and please take that if you're not already. You do need it, even if you don't feel like going out today. And apart from that, it's inside. And the screen is a great way to connect with other people and sort of feel like you're being social, even if you're not actually able to see anyone face to face. So it's unfortunate, but you know, if you have been maybe feeling a bit screened out but still need that connection, this video is for you. We will be doing a fair amount of it with eyes closed where possible. I've got Bub and I'm watching her, so there's only so much I'll be able to close my eyes, so I need to keep an eye on this one. But I will be giving you cues to sort of shut your eyes and tune out the screen and just listen to my voice instead, and pay attention to your own breathing. So, yeah, hello everyone. She knows how to talk to a screen. Unfortunately, that's another byproduct of lockdown. She thinks everybody lives in an iPad or a phone. We'll have to correct that as soon as we can. Yeah. So let's get started. We are going to start standing today. So come to stand at the back of your mat or a piece of carpet or whatever it is you have. And just ground down through your feet. So spread your toes nice and wide and then plant them. You can do this too, Pumpkin. But there's no reason you have to do yoga alone in a corner of your house. If you want to involve the rest of your family or bring your little one around, you can. It's nice to have a little bit of time out to yourself, but lately you've probably been having too much, so don't forget about everyone who's in your house and connecting with them in the right way. Yeah, you're going to sing, you're going to provide the soundtrack. Alright, so spreading your hands out as well as your feet. Nice strong arms. Activate through your legs. Feel how they're going today. Feel how your hips are going. Feel how your back is going. Is everything nice and strong and energized? I have a little bump here because I have a tissue stuck in my yoga pants because I've got a bit of the sniffles from allergies coming out for spring. So just so you know, there's nothing wrong with me. I've just got a little tissue shoved in there. And then bring your arms up over your head. Big inhale and exhale and bring them down. Inhale. Big exhale through your mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. And on your next breath, bring your arms out in front of you and sink your butt down. So you're coming into this sort of squat position. Arms straight out in front of you, activate your shoulders, and then just slowly bring your arms up and just see where they go. For some people, you may be able to bring them all the way up next to your ears. For some, it might be down, but try not to go into a back bend. This is just in your arms. You're straightening out your arms. So you're tilted forward just a little bit. And just sink down a little bit further. Still breathing. Breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So your feet should be just directly below your knees at the moment. Your knees are landing in the middle of your feet. If you look straight down, you can still see your toes. And hold it for just 2 more breaths. You can already feel the heat building a little bit. And coming back to standing. Deep breath in and out. Breath in, arms up. Now is the time where I want you to close down your eyes. So you've seen what we're going to do. We're just going to do that again, eyes closed. I'm going to keep mine open, but go ahead and shut your eyes down. Hands out strong to the side. Check in with those legs, activated nice and strong. Breathe in, arms up over your head. Exhale and bring them down. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, bring them down. We'll do 3 more here. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, bring them down. 1 more. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, bring them down. Now we're going into our seated position. So sink down into your butt, strong through the core, keep your chest up. Don't bend in your back, keep it nice and flat. Bring your arms out in front of you. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and then raise your arms to your limit. As far as your shoulders will let them go, but no further than your ears. Inhale. Exhale and sink down that a little bit further. Keep those eyes shut. Feel your legs doing the work. Feel your butt activating and doing the work here as well. Those glutes are working hard in this position. Nice and strong through the arms, keep them straight. 1 more breath, you can do it. Breathe out, come back to standing. Should feel a nice little bit of heat created in your legs now. Alright, open up those eyes. Move you to the side. There you go. We're going to do just a very simple vinyasa to start with, get ourselves moving again. So inhale, bring your arms up over your head. Exhale and lower down. Keep a bend in the knees at the start of this one. Nice and soft. Pedal through the legs. Just on your fingertips, hands on the shins or hands flat on the ground, however you can today, at this moment. Won't be the same as yesterday, probably won't be the same as tomorrow. Definitely won't be the same as the person next to you if you're practicing with a family member. Inhale, look forward. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, and come all the way down.
Relax your arms. You're not pulling yourself down here. You're not bouncing. Keeping that slight bend in your knees. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, walking your hands forward into a plank position. Fingers nice and spread. Legs nice and strong. Back straight. Wrists underneath your shoulders. Core engaged. Bum working. Legs working. Everything's working. Inhale. Exhale here. Then drop your knees gently if you've got a baby hanging under them. Inhale. Exhale, lower the chest. Come all the way down to the floor, untuck your knees. Inhale. Exhale. Straighten out those legs, nice and strong. Lift the kneecaps off the floor if you can. So your legs are so strong that your kneecaps are lifting off the floor. Your bum is working. And then engage your core and lift up. So you can come onto your elbows and do a baby cobra, as it's called. Or you can come up onto your hands and do the full cobra. Call it the adult cobra, I guess. Baby cobra, adult cobra, bigger cobra. So your legs are working and your bum's working here to protect your back. Giving your abs a nice stretch at the same time as you're kind of working them a little bit as well. So everything's still engaged. Roll your shoulders forward and then back. Slide your shoulder blades down. So your shoulders are working nice and open. So you're opening them up. Inhale. Exhale. Drop down. Again, melt down to the ground. Untuck your toes, tuck your toes, sorry. And then pick up off the ground, going back towards that plank position. And then instead of going into plank, we're going to go straight back up into downward dog. So lift the knees, lift the hips, and go back into your downward dog position. So you're essentially in the same hand and foot position as you would be for your plank. The only difference here is your hips are lifted up as high as you can get them and your heels are working down towards the ground. What are you doing? What are you doing over there? Hi. Inhale here. Exhale and then slowly just walk your hands back towards your feet. And then we inhale for a halfway lift again. Exhale, back down towards the ground. Full fold. Inhale. And exhale at your own pace here. Nice and deep. Halfway lift. Coming down into your full fold. And then walking your hands forward into your plank position. Nice and strong here. And bring your knees back down to the ground. Spread them out as wide as your mat and come back onto your butt. Settle your butt down onto your feet. So you're coming in for an extended child's pose here. Your hands are stretched out in front of you. Your arms are nice and strong. Creep your fingers forward just a little bit to straighten out your shoulders and stretch them. Stretching your upper back, lower back, and your arms here. And if you can here, lower your head down to your mat and shut down your eyes. Feel that stretch through your back. 2 more deep breaths here. Keeping those eyes shut. And then walk your hands back towards you and sit back onto your heels. Coming up to a seated position on your knees, butt on your heels. If this is really hard on your knees, you're welcome to go and sit cross-legged. It's completely up to you, whatever feels right in your body right now. Coming down to your knees, careful, pumpkin. Careful, there's a wall there. Yeah, there's a wall there. It's black, I know, but it's not invisible. Resting your hands on your knees, keeping those eyes shut if you can. Breathing in through the nose, and then try and breathe out through your nose, provided you don't have allergies. Nice big deep breath. Okay, right. Creeping your hands forward again, coming onto your hands and knees. What I want you to do now is tap your toes. You can keep your eyes closed for this one. And then straighten out your left leg behind you. Point your toes down to the ground. So your foot is effectively flat behind you. As if there's a wall behind you when you're planting your foot on it. Keep that leg nice and strong. Make sure your hips aren't turning out. Should be nice and flat and even and strong. See if you can keep your weight in your hands even. So even weight across both of your hands. Not putting any pressure into one wrist more than the other. Check in, have a look behind you, open your eyes for a second, have a look behind you, see if your leg is straight back or if your foot is higher or lower. I'm going to try and keep that as straight in line with your body as you can. And bring that leg down, swap to the other side. So just even out that weight again. And lift that leg. So if you did your left leg last time, do your right leg this time. Doesn't really matter, we're doing both. Check in for a second with your eyes open, see if it's straight, and then look forward and shut down your eyes again. Check in with the weight in your hands. Make sure it's as even as possible. Make sure you're not collapsing through your core either. Nice straight line in the middle of your shoulders, from the top of your head, all the way down to your foot. Nice deep breath in and out. Close down those eyes if you can. And bringing that foot down to the mat. Bringing your knee back underneath your hips, back into your four-legged position. Hi, we've got a soundtrack again. Hello. Hello, pumpkin, you gonna join in?
You got your robot. Oh, that's good. Good job. Good job. Good balancing. Alright, we're just going to warm up the back a little bit. We're going to go into some back bending. So we're going to warm up the back. What I want you to do is just arch your back and tilting your pelvis, lowering your stomach to the ground and opening out shoulders. So you're creating an arch in your back. And then on your next breath out, you're going to tilt your pelvis the other direction. So you're tilting your pelvis down towards the ground, you're tucking your tail, and you're pushing the ground away, rounding your back. Really sucking up through that belly. And on your next breath in, return to that first arching position, opening out shoulders. This time involve your head and your neck. So you're tilting your head back in this position, opening up the front of your neck, and then flip your arch again, raising the middle of your back, tucking your chin, tucking your tail in, sucking up through the belly. Closing your eyes down if you had them open. And focus on your breathing here. Going back into that arch, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, tilting your head up, opening out the front of your neck, tilting your tailbone up, dipping your belly button down towards the ground. Next breath out, change positions, middle of the back up towards the ceiling, suck in your belly button, pushing the ground away, raising the middle of the upper back to the sky as much as you can, tucking your chin. Now that you know what this feels like, I'm going to speed it up just a little bit to create some warmth in your back. So in your breath in, you're going to dip, belly towards the ground, head back, if it's accessible for your neck to do so, of course. If you're feeling any painful twinges in your neck as you're doing this, either slow it down or stop completely. You can come to a neutral spine with your face pointed towards the ground. And then when you breathe in, breathe out, and then raise your back towards the ceiling. I'm fighting with a baby here. You want to stand up. Hold on to me. Hold on. Got me? There you go. You know, my baby's standing assistant. Alright. So we're breathing in and arching belly towards the ground. Breathing out, back towards the ceiling. Go with your natural breath in that pattern. So breathing out, belly towards the ground, shoulders back. Breathing out, back towards the ceiling. And just keep going with your eyes shut. Breathing out, back towards the ceiling. Really feel into your upper back and your lower back, your neck. You might be spending more time seated if you're in lockdown or working from home. So this is a great one to really get all of those muscles that are a little bit neglected
A little bit frozen. Moving again. I'm going to do 5 more breaths here. We want to keep that nice and warm. Get some of that stiffness out. So just do 5 breaths at your own pace. I'm going to do 5 and then let you know when I'm done. Keep your eyes shut. Alright, and that's 5 for me. So you could open up your eyes again if you had them shut. And then just start to walk your hands forward. So you're coming into a puppy pose, chest opening now. This is a back bend. It's a more gentle back bend. If you can get your chest down to the floor, that's fine. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's no biggie. It's just where you're at. We're opening your shoulders out. Nice and wide. You can even sort of wiggle into your shoulders and get them nice and open if you need to. And then, if you can, lower down to the ground. But how you're doing is you're pushing out. So your feet are planted. There's weight and pressure in your feet. There's weight and pressure in your hands. Keeps your whole body nice and strong and active. And then you're slowly lowering your chest down. You can bring your chin to the ground. Or you can bring the top of your head to the ground. Nice deep breath here. It's a little bit harder to breathe a bit deeper in this position because it is a back bend. Get right in there with the toy. Just see how you go. Breathe as deep as you can. Eyes shut. Now you know what it looks and feels like. We'll go for 5 breaths here. When you've done your 5 breaths, slowly pick yourself up onto your hands the same way you came down. So really slowly pushing out through your feet, pushing out through your hands. And then walking your hands back towards you, trying not to let your baby fall over. And then you're bringing your hips down to the ground. So you're coming back into that cobra position we did before, flattening your feet out. So I'm coming down. Hello. Hello, pumpkin. Hello. Oh, Papa. What are you doing? What are you doing? So planting your hands. We're doing a baby cobra here. So planting your hands into the ground, planting the tops of your feet into the ground, lifting your knees. Lifting your knees. So your legs are so straight that your kneecaps are lifted off the ground. Make sure your butt's doing some work. And then when your hands are planted in the ground, what you're doing is you're pulling your hands towards you. And that activates the upper part of your back and your shoulders, as well as your arms and your hands. So this way, everything in your body is working. Hey cat. I left the door open so the cat's coming. Everyone's in here. Hello family. Hi. Say hello everybody. And again, this is a back bend. It's a small one, but it's a back bend. So don't forget, breathing will feel a little tougher here, but still do it. Come here. Or, oh, yeah. Good girl. So you can close down your eyes in this position as well, if you can. If you're choosing to keep them open, don't look at the screen. And just staying here for another 5 breaths. Checking in and make sure you're pulling your hands towards you. Making sure your knees are lifted. Your upper back and your shoulders are active. That's 5 breaths for me. So what we're going to do now is a bit more of an active back exercise, an active back pose. So you're going to bring from your chest down. That's not what I was planning on doing. Hello. 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 Oh, I love you so much. Bring your butt down, There you go, good girl. So you're coming all the way down onto your chest on the floor now. Letting go of that back bend. Feeling how your back feels after that. It should feel like you've done something, but you shouldn't feel any pain. It should feel like you've activated it. So you should be able to feel your back muscles, but they shouldn't feel any kind of discomfort or pain. Now what I want you to do is just lift your right foot off the ground. So you're lifting from your hips here, using your glute, using your thigh, using your calf, using your foot. So it's almost like a stretch out behind you rather than a lift. You're not aiming for height here, you're aiming for length. And then bring your left foot up to match it. So to do this, you've got to squeeze your butt nice and strong. And that does most of the work for you. Squeezing your butt, pushing your feet out behind you. You'll find that the rest of your legs just follow suit after you've done that. You can bring your arms in front of you and just grip either elbow. Grip your elbows in front of you so you're propping yourself up just a little bit. This puts a little bit of pressure on your stomach. So just see how you feel. We're going to intensify that pressure on your stomach in the next pose, so just make sure you're comfortable with it now. If you're not, then you might want to stay here and not do the next level. If you've got any kind of stomach pain or digestive pain or anything like that. Yeah, what are you doing in my hair? What are you doing in my hair? No. Alright. So closing your eyes down. We're staying here in this lifted position. We're going to hold it for another 3 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Good job, Pumpkin, you held that pose too. You held your pose, we held our pose. Yeah, you did really well. And opening your eyes. Bring your legs down. Now what I want you to do is reach behind you with your right hand and grab your right foot. So high up on your foot, close to your ankle. Grab your ankle if you want, or grab your foot, whatever's accessible to you. So you can reach further down your leg, you can reach up. The whole point is to keep your hips on the ground and keep your legs straight out behind you. So you're not going to the side to try to reach your foot or your ankle. Everything is straight back. You will have your right shoulder lifted off the ground here, that's fine. So you've got one arm out in front of you, one arm extended out back behind you, gripping your foot. And then when you're ready, feel that hip activate and lift that knee up off the ground as far as you can. So just aiming for lifting your knee up here. You're not aiming to lift your hip up at all. This is as far as we want to go. It really helps here if you're actually kicking your foot against your hand. So what I'm doing here is that my foot is trying to go this way and my hand is trying to go this way. And if you do that, it makes your butt and your muscles around your hip actually do the work for you. And it really, really activates your thigh as well. Closing down your eyes, if you had them open, or looking away from the screen. Oh, careful. Deep, deep breaths in and out. Down into your belly. I know you're on your belly, so it feels hard to breathe into it, but you can do it. Swapping to the other side. So bringing your right hand in front of you, your right elbow in front of your shoulder. And kicking up your left foot, bringing your left hand around to grip your ankle or your foot, whatever's accessible to you. Breathing here for a second to stretch your body. Hi. And then when you're ready, lifting your knee up off the ground. And letting your left shoulder pull back towards your foot. Oh, good clapping. Check in here and make sure you've got your eyes closed if you can, but also make sure that your right foot is still pushing down into the ground, top of your foot. This will help keep your hips nice and square to the ground and make sure you're not tilting too much from one side to the other. You've got one shoulder back and one shoulder down, so you will get a little bit of rotation, but most of that will be in your back, not your hips. few more breaths here with your eyes shut if you can. Feel into your muscles. Really get a sense of what's working hard to make this happen for you. And then bringing it back down. Bringing your foot back down to the ground. Bringing your hands back to your elbows. Relaxing your legs for a second. Next one we're going to do is both legs. So we're going to do what we just did for each leg then. We're going to do it for both legs at once. If this is too much for you, stick to one leg and then the other. But if you feel like you can do this today, if this is in range for you, then go for it. But you need to understand your limits because, especially because you're doing this virtually, you have to not go beyond your own limits. No one can police that for you. Alright, so bringing your legs, bring your feet up one at a time, and then gripping from the outside. So you're wrapping your fingers around your foot or your front of your ankle. Breathing in. And then breathe out and pushing up. So both of your shoulders are being pulled back towards your feet. Both of your feet are being pulled back towards your head. And your stomach is down. A lot of the weight will actually sit along the front of your hips. Making sure your eyes are open so that you can just see this part and understand what you're doing before you shut your eyes. So a lot of the weight will be on the front of your hips right here, in the front of your pelvis. That's where the center of your weight is. But you will have a fair bit of pressure on your stomach. Do your best to breathe into your stomach, even though you're lying on it. It can feel very difficult. Hello, baby. You want to be in the center of the camera? And close down your eyes. Check in and make sure you've got even pressure from one side to the other here. Make sure your knees aren't coming out to the side, so they're going straight back behind you. Check in, make sure your quads are working, your butt's working, your shoulders are opening, they're being pulled back. There's no tension in your neck. Wiggle your head from side to side. And just breathing in. And out. This is quite a strong one. So if you need to come out of it at any point, please do. Otherwise, holding for another 5 breaths at your own pace. And relaxing your knees down to the ground. Keep hold of your feet for a second. Relaxing your chest down. Resting your chin on the ground. And then slowly bring down your feet so they're flat on the ground again. Seeing how that felt in your back and in your legs. Planting your hands underneath you. Come up gently, gently, gently onto your hands and knees. Walk your knees forward so they're underneath your hips. And then just check in with your back. Move it around, wiggle it around a little bit, see how it's going. That was quite a strong back bend. But the good thing about it is everyone has a different limit for that pose. Some people can go knees barely come off the ground. But there is no right way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. It's all what your body is capable of today. And that's going to be absolutely different for everyone. So planting your hands down, feeling your toes under, and we're going to come up into a downward dog. So take a deep breath, make sure you're ready for this. And then lift your knees off the ground, tilt your hips up, bring your heels down towards the ground. My baby's running away. Don't go out the door. Come here. Come here, you're going to come back over here. Back to your little corner. I know you're not going to stay there, but further away from the door she gets, the longer it takes her to get back to the door. Alright, so make sure your feet are hips width. Create a bridge for your baby to crawl under. Gotcha. Just breathing here, walking through your feet. And then walking your hands back to your feet, the same way we did at the start. Breathe in for a halfway lift, so come up onto your toes, your fingers to the shins. Flatten out your back, breathe out and fold all the way down. Let all of that tension out of your back. On your next breath out, see if you can go and relax your back that little bit further. I always feel like there's a little bit more space. Don't shut your eyes in this pose, you may fall over forward. So plant your hands on the ground if you can. And then bring your left hand out in front of you, so you might have your fingers down to the ground, you might have your palm flat on the ground. And then bring your right arm up above you, so you're trying to twist here. You may only be down here, that's fine, however you can. A twist is a twist. So you're keeping your hips as even as possible here, you're not bending your left knee. Keep both knees nice and straight. And then lower down your hands, switch to the other side. If you can rotate your neck and look at the top of your fingers, do so. If you can't, that's fine. Keeping your eyes open here. lower your left hand. Come back. Back you go. Alright, and we'll do one more forward fold to counteract all of the back bending that we've been doing. So coming down to seated. We're going to have our legs crossed for this one. Either foot in front, it doesn't matter. If your knees are up here, again, that's okay. If your knees can be flat on the ground, they can be up here, however works for you. Just make sure there's no pressure in your knees, pain in your knees. Deep breath in, straighten up to the sky, head up, and then just walk your hands forward. So you can be elbows on the ground, you can be fingertips on the ground, you can be face on the ground, however works for you. Sometimes I just kind of feel like, ugh, this is how I feel right now. Hello, pumpkin. Oh, big smile. You coming over here? Hello. Hi. You want to come play with me? Hello. Yeah. You want to come play with me? If you do have your head resting on the ground, rest it on one side and then the other. If you're up here, you can do the same thing. Look to your right and then look to your left. And just make sure there's no tension or stress in your neck from the back bending that we've been doing. Sometimes you can accidentally tighten your neck up when you're arching your back. So just down as far as you can. And then coming up and swapping your feet, so the other one's in front. And we'll do that again. So breathing in nice and tall. Breathing out, down to the ground if you can. Up here is fine. Up here is fine. Up here is fine. Up here, here, it's all the same pose. You can close down your eyes in this one. If you haven't already. If you don't have a toddler to watch. Something else you can work on in this pose is you can slowly work your butt and your hips further back. And that gives you more of a stretch in your lower back as well. So you're working your hips down while you're working yourself forward. So what you're doing here is you're creating the space in the front of your body for that fold to happen. You've got the strap. Yeah. You've got the strap on here. Good job. And then coming back up. And again, just feel into your back and feel how you are. You should really feel like you've kind of opened up the front of your body a bit more and your back's a bit more loose than it was when you started. Maybe you had a bit of tightness in your lower back or your shoulders. Some of that should have been worked out by now. Which I think we all need on occasion, especially during sort of more tense times in your life. You tend to hold a lot of tension in your back and your shoulders, so it's really good just to stretch them out every now and then. Okay, I think that's what we're going to do for today. That's all I wanted to do. I hope you had a decent amount of time there where you were able to keep your eyes shut and keep your eyes off the screen and feel into your body and see how it is you're going today. I want to leave you with a thought around screen time. So however much screen time you're deciding to have, however much you're letting your children have, I want to encourage you to be mindful with it today and in the coming days, especially if you're in lockdown. By mindful, I don't mean restrict it necessarily. I mean pay attention to the intention behind that screen time. So are you watching it just because you're bored, because you don't know anything better to do? Or are you watching it to learn something, to connect with someone, to use a tool? So pay attention to the intentions behind your screen time and see if that changes your behaviour at all. I think it's good to reflect on our own behaviour and see if we can improve ourselves, become better, and do things a little bit more mindfully in our day-to-day. So if you would like to, I would like to invite you to join me in closing your eyes and just setting an intention for your screen time for the rest of the day and the coming days. To perhaps be a bit more mindful about how you use it. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.